All right, this is part 2 to this practice test thing. So we're up to number 15. We're doing number 15 from the practice test, we'll call it. Or it's my mercy on you, is what it is. Yeah, sure I am. Yeah, I was the best at the beginning of the class. If I would have recorded that, that would have sounded a little different than you sound now.
I think we all feel pretty stupid.
Yeah, you should. well, I don't think you should feel stupid, but you should feel bad that you are bad. You should feel bad. I didn't. Right. I agree with that. All right, here we go. You can quickly. Why would you use 0.5? I'll set it up. Let's set it up. All right, everybody look up. Everybody look. Shh. Settle down. Settle down. All right. Take a deep breath. All right. There's a rule for this. You got to know the rule. This time they intersect inside the triangle. When they intersect inside the triangle, you still take half, but you take half of what? Not the difference, but the what? But the sum. Okay, that was the first one we did. It's half the sum. So the angle is equal to half the sum of the two arcs that it cuts off. So the angle equals half the sum of the two arcs, x plus 110. That's all it is. It's just straightforward. That's what I. All right. Now, some of the homework problems, they put x in here, but they did stuff just like this on the homework problems, okay? And you had a chance to ask about the homework, right, when you went over it. But you guys thought it was so easy when we were doing it, and not many people asked a lot of questions, if you noticed that on this chapter, because it seemed like it was so easy. But it was a lot of stuff, though. Would you agree? I mean, there was a lot of information that you got to keep straight. Okay, so watch. Get rid of the 2. This is what I would do. Now, you could, if you wanted to, you could distribute the 1/2, but I think that would be not a wise way to do this. I would get rid of the 1/2, so you multiply by 2. Multiply by this by 2, and I get 160. And then I get x plus 110, subtract a 110, and that's 50. It's as easy as that. But you got to know the rule, okay? If you didn't have it set up right, there's no way you could get the right answer unless you just got lucky. And
math mistakes, I literally did my algebra wrong.
Well, that's.
I did them all right. I just So you didn't do them all right.
All right, here we go. Yes.
You have to test at least.
I got 16.
Do I what?
At least have the test at least.
Do I have the test up here? Yes, I have the test up here.
What number do you need?
Just ask somebody about a problem and see if they got it right.
I just want to know if 16 and x is the angle or the.
It's the angle. Yeah, it's tucked. It's tucked right in between those two lines. All right, look. Look, that x is right there. It's the angle. It's asking for an angle. All right. And then this is 110. And this is 45. Not exactly drawn a scale, but that's okay.
It's not 45.
I know. Compared to 110, look at that. That's okay. Doesn't matter. The numbers still work. Okay, so now what do? This time, the lines intersect where? Outside the circle, so we take half the difference. So the angle is half the what? The difference of the two arcs. Okay, so what's the bigger arc? 45 minus, what do we got to do now? We got to find this, don't we?
You forgot that the one line.
What
goes
did I
through the
forget?
center of the
Yes.
circle.
Yeah,
So
that's why it
that's
doesn't
gonna
look
change your
right.
complete
It
answer.
absolutely changes it. You're right. Good call on that. Let me just rotate it
So I
up
was
here.
like, wait, but then what did I do?
Does that look like it's the center about right there? Okay, that's much better.
I was about
Yeah,
to
it
say,
absolutely. It does have to go through the center. That makes a huge difference, okay? And let's get rid of that.
Yeah.
Now it looks a little bit better. It looks okay. So what we still got to find that little arc right there, though, don't we?
Yep.
And so now, how do we do that? We just
110 plus 180.
yeah, 180 minus 110 is what? 70 minus 45 is what? 25. Okay, so that's 25 degrees. We'll put it right
And you
there.
just do 45 minus 25.
Yep.
By 2.
And there's your two arcs, right? You go 45 minus 25.
Hold on, you just did 180 minus.
I got 180 minus 110 minus 45 is 25. Right? Did it in my head. You can do it in your head, right? But use a calculator just so you don't mess up, okay?
Because you're only having semicircles.
And then
Because this goes through the center, so this is a diameter, right? So this is a semicircle. From here to here is a semicircle. So that's why I took it away from 180. All right, got 25, and then you just do the work. I don't have to. What? That's 20. Half of 20 is 10, so x is 10. That's it.
If we study the concepts from like everything on this test, only that, like,
So you just go 25
we
times
get
an
an
A.
A on the test.
If you do it right, if you do the problems right.
This test is different numbers.
Yes, that's why I said that right from
You
the
already
beginning.
said
I said it. I know. See, now you know why I get frustrated.
25 and then
All right, this is a little different. We're not doing arcs and angles this time. Shh. We're not doing arcs and angles this time. We're doing line segments. Again, this is something that we've done lots of times. This is 2x and this is 2x. Again, not to scale because it doesn't look like it's right in the middle of them, but it doesn't matter. We had a little rule. What's the rule say about these segments right here? The product of the segments of each chord equal each other, okay? So watch. I go, all right, let's do the math. It might be the math you got wrong. So I go 2x times 2x equals, I'm going to write it all out so you know where I'm getting these numbers from, okay? So this is 4x squared, not 2x squared. It's 4x squared equals 100, all right? And then you divide by 4, and so x squared is 25. Square root both sides, x is 5. That's it.
Okay, 18, I had no idea.
18?
18, I'm
Well, if you had
skipping
no
that.
idea, then you didn't study this, because this is pretty straightforward.
No, I remember that. I understood how to, like, set it up. I don't know what I did after that.
I got that right.
I
Where did you go wrong?
even when I, listen. When I taught this, you guys listen to me? It would be really nice. That might be part of the problem. Think? Yep. So that's 9. This is 18. That's 8. And this is x. If you go back and watch the video on this, I even wrote down the words. I said the, the outside times the whole thing. Do you remember that? Remember I wrote that stuff down? I said,
that was the formula.
okay, yeah, it was the formula, but that's what we do right here. So watch. Let's do this. This is the secant, right? This is a secant and a tangent because it hits right here. Secant and tangent. So what do we do with the secant? We take the outside, which is 8, times the whole secant. What's the whole secant?
8 plus X.
Right, it's 8 plus x or x plus 8.
What I did, I multiplied it, so I did 8x.
Yeah,
and
8x is not that whole thing. Because if this was like a 3, you wouldn't go 8 times 3 is 24. You go 8 plus 3 is 11. All right? Equals what? What on the tangent? What do we do to the tangent? We square it. So it's 9 squared. Math is super easy. I'll let you do the math yourself. Okay?
And you get 2.1.
2.1? There you go.
Well, it's like 2.1.
It's like 17 over 8 or something like that, isn't it? Yep, 17 over 8. That's how I would prefer it. It's an exact answer, isn't it? Because 2.1 is approximation, I think. All right, which one did you say? Somebody asked me one earlier. 5?
Number 5.
How'd you get 5 wrong?
Oh, the length of. I tell you what, let's we're running out of time. What's the what's that central angle? What's angle XRQ on number 5? So angle XRQ is 140, correct? So arc XQ is the arc that makes that central angle, right? The central angle makes that arc right there. So that arc is 140. So if I want to find the distance of the arc, what do? I go 140 over 360 pi times d. And what's the d?
16.
And it's 16?
And then you just plug it in.
Yeah, because XS is 16. That's the diameter. Plug that into your calculator, and that's your answer.
Get 19.5.
19.5.
Yep.
It's approximately.
A second part, 19, not finding the radius, but finding the coordinates of the.
You just take the opposite
You
sign.
just take the two numbers.
Because remember what the formula is. It's x minus h, and it's y minus, right?
So it's -2, positive 7.
H and what? K, right? Is that the letters we used? H and K? Yeah. So look, what's the formula? The formula is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Everybody watching? Miriam, you asked the question. You're not watching me. So look, here's the formula right here. All right? So it's x minus whatever the h is, because the center is hk. So what am I subtracting from x? I'm subtracting a -2, aren't I? It's x minus -2. So I'm actually subtracting a -2. So it's a -2.
And seven.
What am I subtracting from the y here? Just a 7. So it's -2, 7. So that's the center of the circle. All right, so that's the center. Right, and look, it basically comes down to, once you get used to this, just saying what? It's just the opposite sign, right? But I'm just kind of giving you an explanation of why it's the opposite sign. But you look at it and you say, just take the opposite sign of what's in here. So that's -2, +7, right? And the radius is 9. Most people got those last two right.
I did not. I just didn't put in the right.
What about 6? Were you okay with 6? All right. That's a 3, 4, 5 triangle as well, isn't it? Number 6? Yeah. All right. I sure hope you're ready for it on Monday. All right.